hopefully we keep seeing more of that. All right, now we got the Steelers Broncos. My dumbass, I took the over in this game since it was so little, and then I know, bro. I'm just like an over chaser. I took the under in one of these games and it hit, so I need to just like I'm smart enough. It's just I like seeing high scoring shit, but this isn't. We're not seeing gods play quarterback no more. We had a golden era of quarterbacks about 10 years ago, and I think that's part of the reason why they want to see Aaron Rodgers win so much, because he's like the last of that dying breed. Well, not dying breed, but the last of that generation, really still pushing and kicking. Even though I do think Tom Brady, if he wanted to, could come out here and do his thing.
I mean, this ain't the game to talk about that too. Like, because it's like this is how the Steelers want to win football.
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like like this is why I was like, yo, this is Justin Fields is starting quarterback for them, because this is how they want to play. This is absolutely how they want to play. And
yes, sir.
I could have told you that Pat Freiermuth was going to be lead this team in receptions. And I mean, the defense did their thing, held them to 6 points. Steelers scored 13, and we're going home with a W. Hard days.
I mean, I know Belichick used to get, he had the good reputation for giving these rookie quarterbacks hell. That might go to Mike Tomlin right now with TJ Watt over there wreaking havoc. I think he's on a revenge tour, because I do think he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year over Myles Garrett. And, I think he's going to – when you're an elite player like TJ Watt, it's kind of like Michael Jordan. You have to take what you can to motivate yourself, because you're that good, where you have to find little things like that. And I do feel like he took that personally. And I think, he's going to have a crazy year. This was I don't think there was any possibility the Broncos were going to win this one.
Yeah, no chance. I mean, no chance. This is a Mike Tomlin spot. This is a Mike Tomlin game. This is what he does. These people are so psycho that when they needed a quarterback, they traded a first-round pick for a free safety. And the free safety plays awesome. Like, this is just what they do. Yeah, we don't need no quarterback, man. Give me the safety. Let me get the safety. Oh, Michael Fitzpatrick is available? Bet. Here's his first. Give me the safety. And they started winning. Like, this team is not like the rest of the teams in the NFL. They're just not.
And that's what's so beautiful about, because, with other sports, I'm not going to go into detail, but there's so many ways to win in the NFL. You have to play into your roster. You have to play into your philosophy as a team.
Your culture, yeah.
Yeah, and the Steelers have an amazing culture. I'm glad Justin Fields has the second chance. I see Bears fans, rah, 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 like we should have kept Caleb. Man, F that. Y'all take Caleb. Let Justin Fields get this chance. I like the spot that he's in. Things happen for a reason, and he's here, and I think
this is home for him. This is home. This is home for him. And you don't have to break the bank for Justin Fields now, because we got the Geno Smith contracts and the Baker Mayfield contracts where they're making like $25 million a year compared to the 40 and 60, 55. So it's like, this is home for him. And I know Mike Tomlin had a grown man conversation with Russ and said, yes, you will. I'll give you the opportunity to start. But sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Football god said, hey, you're out week one. Justin Field gets his chance. We're going to keep rolling with Justin, because he does do things you're not able to do, my guy.
And the football gods exist. They exist. They're real.
They do exist. And that boy Thor put the hammer down and said, give Justin Fields that chance. And he's making the best. And speaking of Caleb Williams, we got him against the Texans, prime time. Those prime time games, man. If you have a 1 o'clock game and, you have a sloppy performance, it kind of gets thrown, under the bridge a little bit. But, hey, this is what comes with being the number one pick. You're going to get some of these primetime games, especially when you push out DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then Rome Odunze. They only had 4 picks in this draft, and they used one on a punter. And he told the punter before the season, you're not going to have to punt much. They punted a bunch in this game, but Yeah, there's going to be growing pains with Caleb. He had a couple plays, kind of like last week, where it's like, bro, these D linemen are much faster than what you experience over there. And it kind of is reminiscent to the early Baker years where Baker seemed like he felt like he was more athletic than he really is. And with Caleb, it's like you were college athletic. You're not NFL athletic. Like that dancing around, he had that egregious he had that egregious ass pick where it's like it felt like a Madden throw. Like when you're down in Madden and you're just trying shit out. Except this is an NFL game, prime time, and you were in this game. Can't throw picks like that. Even the last play of the game, him and Roman Dunze, I think it was Rome, weren't on the same page. I think he was expecting him to curl back, and it just that last play was just hilarious. It was just so anticlimactic. But yeah, you're going against the Texans, man. This is the second year with DeMeco Ryan. Oh my God, this was a welcome to the league game for Caleb. Got sacked 7 times, and besides the sacks, he was getting hit often, and you could just see by his body language
that running backs didn't help him much either.
Oh my God, 1.3 a carry is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like he just really didn't have. He didn't have that much help, man. So it's just sometimes it gets like that.
What do you think about DJ Moore's body language? He was a big proponent of Justin Fields. He said that there's not a better quarterback in this draft than Justin Fields right now, and I think he showed that with his body language, taking the helmet off when it was after that third down. They knew they were punting it. Do you think he should, be more of a vet, try to be more supportive, not kind of show like, man, we had our guy. We could have had Marvin Harris. We could have just took Marvin Harrison.
No, because again, this was happening with Justin Fields. He was taking a bunch of sacks. This is how it goes. You're going to have growing pains. You're dealing with a rookie quarterback, second game of the season. Like he played a little bit in preseason, but even he's like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's still getting it figured out here. Offensive coordinators are still getting it figured out. And again, he's not going to come in as much as we want to see him be Pat Mahomes and do all these things. He's not about to come in and light up the world. It took Jordan Love probably a season and a half, or
after setting for a lot of years, to get that together, and that was what Matt was.
And then he got it.
And then it clicked. And I believe in Caleb Williams. I think he just has to knock out some of the bad habits. And he played a tough Texans defense coached by DeMeco Ryans. And I'll keep hammering this home that everybody around, sometimes when you have a dynamo and, when he played and when he was on a coaching staff, everyone around him was like, yeah, he's going to be the next guy. And I think they just have a good core over there in Houston. And this is a primetime game. Welcome to the league, Caleb. Right. Welcome to the league. You saw CJ Stroud try to give him some advice towards the end of the game. I think he was a little disappointed in his performance. I think people were saying, like, oh, he's not taking advice. I don't look at it like that. I've had my questions with some of Caleb's antics, but I think he's going to be good in this league, and this is going to be one of these games you look back at where it's like, give these guys a chance. We live in more of a fast food, social media era. People's attention spans are at an all-time low, and they want people to come out the gate and be CJ Stroud, but that's just not always the case, and it doesn't mean you made the wrong pick or anything like that. It's just, this is CJ Stroud's second year, and they added Joe Mixon. They added Stephon Diggs, who's the captain, and then Nico Collins, who was drafted in the second round. He's 6'5", and he was making some crazy plays during this game. You got to look at the positives. You held them to 19 points, and the game was within reach, even though it didn't really seem like the Texans were going to lose this one. But it is what it is, a bad beat.
Right. I mean, hey, welcome to the NFL. Like you said, you got Texans are a solid team, man. I mean, Texans have created a team that's going to try to make a run. They have Danielle Hunter on one side. They got Will Anderson Jr., who they
Which
drafted after they had.
let's talk about that. That's one of the best like little first round, first 5 picks. I think Will Anderson was drafted third, right?
Well, yeah,
Like, they came up and they traded back up and got him, and then got that combo. And Will Anderson's doing his thing, man. So
yeah.
it's just who's there? Who's a Nick Caserio? Shout out to Nick Caserio. I mean, they were a shit show around the Deshaun Watson times when they had that Bible thumper running stuff, the evangelist or whatever he was running stuff. Those are terrible times, but this is why I love the NFL. It doesn't take 10 years to get a scary, real like Super Bowl contender, and that's what we have over there in Houston. The bright side of things is the Bears came out of week 1 with a game that they probably should have lost, and they're only 1-1. And let's see, week 3 they have the Colts who are 0-2, so that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting game. I mean, and this is even though we, Austin refers to this as the Fox, the faux free preseason. This is some of my favorite football because it's so unpredictable. These teams are making adjustments. All right, you need to get more minutes. You need to get more burn. All right, you can't play. We're going to have to make these adjustments. And it's interesting to see how these teams maneuver, and the Texans don't seem like they just need to keep that shit pushing. Hope that the NFL gods don't hit them with an injury bug. And with the Bears, at least you guys are 1-1. You have the Vikings. That's going to be a scary matchup. You have them twice for Brian Flores going against a rookie quarterback. You have the Packers, who Jordan Love, I think he's week to week.
Yeah,
right?
week to week.
He's week to week, but they were efficient with Malik Willis. And then you have the Lions. And the Lions are the Lions. I mean, they were that close to getting to the big game. So another not really unexpected. Everyone projected this division to be really good this year, but I'm just excited to see how everything pans out. But Bears fans, don't overreact. Don't be like, oh, well, we should have just kept Justin Fields. You have a good player over there. Roman Dunze dropped a catchable ball. It wasn't the perfect pass, but in the future, he should be catching those. And they just have some dogs over there on defense with Houston. It was a tough matchup. I mean, this is a team that is expected to contend now, and you guys are in rebuild mode. You guys had 4 draft picks, and you spent 1 on a punter, and 2 of your picks were in the first round. So,
yeah, they'll be all right.
All right, last game. This was a long one. Well, a long pod, but there's a lot to discuss in week 2. We learned a lot after week 1. We have the Falcons edging it out against the Eagles. I was getting ready to turn this game off, actually, and this is why any given Sunday, any given Monday. So, shout out to Saquon. Not really. This was a great Saquon hate watch for us Giants fans. Vintage Saquon dropping a key pass in his hands, butterfingers per usual. He has the most drops out of any running back since 2021. And Devin Singletary is running just as efficiently. I didn't think he was a major upgrade from Swift, even though he was an upgrade. I think he's going to be fine playing under one of the best lines he's ever had in his career. Ironically, the Giants O-line, not the best in run protection, better in pass protection, but he's going to be fine on the Eagles. Somewhat of a very important game for the Falcons to win with the Saints and the Bucks. They went into this game knowing that both of those teams are 2-0. Kirk Cousins really didn't flash until the end of the game. He has a stigma against his primetime games, and he showed up that last drive. It looked really easy, but that's the concern with the Eagles is that defense. And, this was a game they had in their grasp. They could have came into week 3 leading the division 2-0. They could have easily lost that Packers game. So I don't think the Eagles are shooing to win the division. The NFC East is always a toss-up. I think we've had a new division winner for like the past 12 years or something. So, what are your thoughts on this game?
It was one that got away, and it's probably going to come back to haunt them at some point, possibly down the stretch. Kirk Cousins, you got to give respect where respect is due. He played well enough for them to win the game. Especially coming off that concern in game 1, he looked better. He looked healthier. He took a few hits. He took a big sack, got up from it, bounced back. Bijan Robinson looks like the best running back in the NFL to me. I don't really understand. I guess I get it because Tyler Algier is good. Why he got 9 carries, but he
got 6 yards a carry, and if they think they feel like they can make a run. They made that trade for Judon right before the season started. And then they scooped up Justin Simmons to pair with Jesse Bates. They have A.J. Terrell there. They feel like they can make a run. Shout out to Ray McLeod. He's making an impact there. Darnell Mooney seems like he was a good pickup. I always liked Darnell Mooney on the Bears, so I thought that was a good pickup. I think they made a lot of good moves. The questionable move, obviously, was the whole Penix pick, but I think they were in QB hell so much they just wanted to put more of their chips into that QB plate and make sure they're not pushing out Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke ever again. Raheem Morris gets his second chance as a head coach, and
right. I think this is a big win for him. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia, there wasn't a bad play call. I've been thinking it over. I'm looking at it, but at the end of the day,
I thought you were about to kill your boy.
No, we'll let him live one more week because
we're talking about Kellen Moore, by the way.
Saquon had 5 targets, 4 for 21. The only one that he dropped was the most important one, but. I believe this is more like what it's going to look like, though. However, I don't think that you're going to see a heavy workload from Saquon out the backfield catching the football. I definitely think that you're going to see Jalen Hurts running a lot more. In the first game, he didn't run at all. In this game, he ran it 13 times for 85 yards himself. And I just think that this is the offense you're going to see from Philly. They were out without A.J. Brown, so they were down a stud, but they still had this game won. They just whatever. It's just sometimes it's unfortunate. It was a good play call, bad execution on the running back for dropping it on 3rd and 3, and it kind of cost them. Again, got to give credit to Raheem Morris and the Atlanta Falcons for making plays at the right time to win the game. That's just kind of, what it is at this point. So Eagles was a tough one after winning a tough one. That's kind of how it goes in the NFL. And the Falcons are buying time. They're buying time to get their team figured out, and they're gaining confidence. That was a huge win for them. So even like Zach Robinson, their offensive coordinator, this is his first year calling plays. I think if you think about that and take everything into consideration, you would say that you would probably get the game ball to them. They won. There was maybe some questionable calls down the stretch where they probably could have ran the ball a few more times, but what does it matter if you win? You know what I mean? Go ahead and figure. It's better to figure all that stuff out after you won a game than it is to figure all that stuff out after a loss. So,
and I know visually, just watching this game, Kirk Cousins didn't look crazy, but he was efficient. No picks. He took 1 sack, so the O-line held up for the most part. And what are your thoughts on Kyle Pitts? When is he going to make his impact?
I think this is his impact. I think this. I don't think we're ever. Again, he has time to get healthy. He's a 22, 23-year-old.
Was he ever hurt?
Yeah. He was hurt all last year. But I just think this is what you would expect. Drake London to be getting the majority of the targets. He comes down with a touchdown. Darnell Mooney, second wide receiver. Kyle Pitts, third pass catcher. That's kind of just what the situation is here, and I don't think that he's doing anything wrong. People have expectations for him, and I think that stuff is still possible. Again, he scored last week, and I'm pretty sure he was targeted 4 times. He caught 3 balls. That's all you can do.
So, and just to highlight his injury history, more so 2022. You know, he had a MCL tear in November 2022, and before that, he had a sprain in his hamstring. But in 2024, August 21st, another hamstring strain, grade 1. Got it in practiced through it. So I mean, overall, he's decently healthy. But I think, you know, having Drake London, Mooney, Ray McLeod, he's not asked to be prime Mark Andrews when that was the main option in Baltimore, or the season after the Tyreek Hill trade to the Dolphins, what Travis Kelce was asked to do with that wide receiver room. So at least that's good. It's promising. I think he's going to have a crazy game eventually. Just don't know when. That's why he's on my note. Him and Drake London are on my no draft list every year. I'm just not trying to go into that. I'd rather take somebody like Darnell Mooney later in the draft and look how he did. Averaged nearly 30 yards a catch, 7 targets along with Drake London, and they both scored a touchdown. So Kirk Cousins, you got him. He's a statue in the pocket, but he's accurate, and you give him a clean pocket, he's going to do what you expect Kirk Cousins to do. And it should be interesting if, you know, I think if they lost this, Penix, and I think it's good for the Falcons. It's not for Kirk Cousins himself, but it's like, you know, when you're a mercenary quarterback, you're getting these legendary contracts, your agent is top tier, getting you this money. It makes teams, the next team, you keep going to these teams, they're less tied to you. So I know he felt blindsided by the Penix pick, but bro, you got paid. I don't want to really hear it from you. Go out there and perform and show why this rookie shouldn't get any burn this year and why he should sit under you for the rest of the year. And that's what it is. And I think it's a good position to be as a Falcons fan, because if he gets hurt again or if he starts underperforming, you do have a guy who I think is NFL ready with Penix, and he's in a good situation, and he's going to be fresh. So shout out to the Falcons pulling this one out. You know what's interesting? I didn't watch too much of the Manning cast, but they had Bill Belichick. You can tell Bill Belichick has some disdain for the Falcons. I think he really wanted that job. I think the Kraft family definitely had a say so with getting him a little bit blackballed there, especially with the documentary they came out, which they didn't speak very highly of Belichick, which I think is insane. He got 6 rings for you guys. He has 2 rings with the Giants back when Lawrence Taylor was playing and he was a defensive coordinator for us. Bill Belichick's a good coach. He's just not a good GM. He doesn't seem like a good offensive talent evaluator, but I think he does take it personally. He mentioned how he mentioned some of their tampering issues going into this season. He made sure to bring that up, and then he took some shots at AJ Terrell and how much stock they're putting in him, despite the lack of interceptions. So he took some jabs at him. I think he definitely wants to get back into coaching. So we'll see how the coaching hires are this upcoming season or in the off season when the playoffs get started, because I think he could still coach, man. And when you're a coach like him, even Pete Carroll, when he came out in that press conference after they let him go, I think he was really trying to prove like, hey, I still got it. I'm still here ready. And it almost brings a tear to my eye. These guys are like 70, 80 years old. They're made, but this is their life. It's like these players, how a lot of players, whether it's NFL, baseball, soccer, basketball, they don't know what to do this has been their life since they're a little kid. And even with these coaches pushing 80, 90, they want to get back out there for the love of the game. And it's similar to Tua. Tua has no desire to retire. Shout out to Tua. They put him on IR, which I think is smart. Let him get multiple opinions when it comes to, the brain aspect of the concussions. Tom Brady, obviously, that, his divorce was kind of pumped up with promises to Gazelle to retire. And he was like, nah, I still got some years left in me. Fuck them kids. And that's why I love this sport, man. That's why I love this sport. But really look forward to week 3. We're going to have our picks for that. We did pretty decent. Some really close calls with the picks. And, we'll break those down for you guys. And, this is a long one. We're going to cut this one up. And, yeah, man. You got anything else, Austin?
Nah, just like and subscribe.
Like to subscribe. Matter of fact, giving you the facts, facting out, and all that.
All right. See you guys.